I know this is starting to become a pattern, but it's time for another worst to best. This time, we're doing Tool. If you don't know who Tool is a very popular metal band that infuses progression in their music and also alternative music into their music. And I think it's about time, since the last video got a little bit of attention. I figured, why not do another one? And I got a comment from someone I should do Tool. And yeah, it's definitely on my radar. And hope you like it. And now, before we start, I just want to say this is all just my honest opinion. I always defend bands. This is one of them. And if you want to make your own list, go for it. I don't care. I don't really care about what other people think about my opinions. They're just only for my goodness sake. And anyways, without being said, let's get into the ranking, shall we? So we're going to be focusing on studio albums. There's only 5 of them. And we're going to be starting it off with Fear Inoculum. That was released back in 2019. This was their follow-up album since 10,000 Days. To be honest with you, when I heard the title track from this album, I was pretty excited. I mean, and keep in mind, this was the first Tool song that I heard. Well, I think it was. I'm not really sure. But when I heard the rest of the album, problems were kind of beginning to show. I feel like the songs overall are kind of a little bit too bloated, and I think there was like too many movements like within each song. Even the interludes kind of just do nothing. But I will say Numa is a pretty good song. I think it has a really nice groove to it, and I think Maynard's vocals hits pretty hard, even with the reverb and reverse vocals to it. Danny Carey's drumming and samples that he used in that song is also really cool as well. Invisible is also a pretty good track as well. Like, I love the melody on the track, as well as the tempo changes throughout that song. I think that's a really good song. I guess Chocolate Chip Trip is Danny's Spotlight. Not a favorite of mine, but it kind of really just does nothing, and it's kind of like a halt on the album. And Seven Empist is okay. It's the longest song, whopping from 15 minutes long. But yeah, overall, a lot of the tracks on here I just find boring, forgettable, and just quite possibly like I just don't worry about these songs. But I will say, not a favorite Tool album to begin with, but overall, it's whatever. Best tracks on here: Numa and Invincible. Undertow, 1993. This is their debut album. Quite frankly, this is more alternative metal mixed with progressive rock elements here and there. Intolerance is a pretty good opener. It has a really nice progression to it. I think that's might be one of their best openers, like, for a debut album. Prison Sex is also a pretty good single as well. I like the 4/4 time, and even the that progression that Danny Carey does on that track is also really cool. Even Paul D'Amour's bass playing is really good as well. Even on Sober, which is also a favorite of mine. Flood is also a pretty good deeper cut as well. I think the scream that Maynard does is also really good. Even on the title track as well, I think that's really good. But honestly, I find a lot of the other tracks just hit or miss for me. Even with the final song on here, which is also like a whopping 15 minutes. I just kind of just skip those type of tracks and just go to the songs that I like to do. But yeah, honestly, not too bad. I know it's kind of a shocker that I put this album on here, but it is what it is. But like I said, it's okay. It's hit or miss. Best tracks on here: A Tolerance, Prison Sex, Sober, and Flood. 10,000 Days, 2006. Now, this is their follow-up from a 5-year gap from Lateralis that was released back in 2021. Wait, no, 2001. This was the first Tool album I heard from them. When I heard Vicarious, I was very impressed. I heard a smidge of that song on a WatchMojo.com top 10 drummers type video, and Danny Carey is one of them, and this was the song that we were playing, and I was really impressed with the song. I like the 5/4 time, and probably this might be one of my favorite 5/4 songs. And then Jabby hits hard as well. I like the drum fills on there. Even the chorus hits really hard. Even the melodies. I think honestly, when we get to Wings Part 1, it's kind of a halting start, but like the second half of the song is okay. I'm still talking about the first one. It has the same outro to that song, but I will say Wings Part 2 is better than Part 1. I gotta say, it's still 11 minutes, but like it fills with emotion, because like this album deals with Maynard's mother for most of their songs. The Pod is also a really good cut on here as well. I think it's one of their best songs on the album. And honestly, my favorite song on the album has to be Rosetta Stone. Yeah, it's a long song, but overall, I think the movement and the musical passages that's like given to us in that song, it hits me pretty hard in my heart. And I could say I could replay that song all day if I want to. But I will say, Right Into is okay. It's not a favorite of mine, but I will say I'll give credit because it's decent. But I will say it's not their best album, but I will say there are some great bangers on here. The interludes are just kind of whatever. I can't say that for me. But yeah, good album. Best tracks on here: Vicarious, Jambi, Wings Part 2, The Pot, and Rosetta Stone. If you made it this far, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll leave your comments in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on this list? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What do you think of these albums? What are your thoughts? Let me know what your lists are down below. What band should I rank next? And yeah, let's get on to the top 2. So coming in at number 2, Lateralus. This is kind of a shocker. And I know y'all are gonna be spamming in the comments.
Oh, but I thought Anima was like the best album, but no, I like Lateralus better than Anima. Or oh, you're just putting Lateralus because you think this album's overrated and you think Anthony Fantano is like he's like a wizard, 10 out of 10. Well,
Lateralus is not a 10. I'll put that there. But I will say the Grunge is a really good opener. And then we got a interlude right after that. Speaking of interludes, some of these interludes I just tend to skip because I don't want to listen to them. But I will say Maynard sings on one of the interludes, I think. Does he? Yeah, I think so, yeah. Then Schism is also a really good song on here as well. I like the 7/4 beat that pumping throughout the song. Even the intensity that is building up towards the end of the song. Really good. And then we got the two-punch kick of Parabola. Honestly, I like Parabola more than the Parabole one. I know it's considered to be one song, but it's still pretty good. And I think the best drum fill or drum opening is Ticks and Leeches. Like Danny Carey's drumming is he's just going flying on those toms there, and then Justin Chancellor's guitar playing, and even the bass player is also really good. I forget the name. And Maynard's scream on here, especially going into the first verse, chef's kiss. Even on the Grunge, I'll take that scream as well. I'm really impressed that Maynard can also scream for that long. I'm not sure if it's whisper screams or just screaming in general. Just scream. Title track is also really good cut as well on the album, as well as Reflection, which is also a nice deeper cut. Trade is okay. The Patient is alright. But I will say the outro just does nothing for me. But yeah, overall, this album is also their first album to debut at #1 of the Billboard 200 charts. I'll give them credit for that. And yeah, I mean, I might revisit this album today, but yeah, pretty good album. Best tracks on here: The Grunge, Schism, Parabola, Ticks and Leeches, Lateralus, and Reflection. Number 1, Anima, 1996. I love this album, and this album is widely considered to be a 10 out of 10, and no reason why I bought this on CD. And come on, look at this. I know it's kind of hard to see, but the packaging is also well designed as well. But yeah, I love Stinkfist. Might be their best openers on this album, and then we jump right into Eulogy, which is also another great song. Age is also a pretty good debut cut when we calm things down. I like the chorus on there. The riff is on there as well. Then we get to 46 and 2, which is also a really nice deeper cut as well. I will say I like the riffs on there. Even how it gets intense towards the end of the song. Even the solo on here is really good as well. I'll give them credit that. I will say some of the interludes on here, there's a ton of them. I just don't really care about the interludes, but I will say Aeons is really good at interlude. Even some other interludes I just don't care. Oh yeah, don't forget about Animation. That was a pretty good interlude. And then we get to Hook Up with a Penis, which is actually pretty much a callback through from Undertow. I'll put this down. Kind of gives off that opiate and Undertow vibe to it, almost like a jerk off type song. Really good song. And then we get to Jimmy, another deep, nice slow song. It's groovy, it's progressive, and it's nice. And then we get to Push It, Anima, and Third Eye, which is my favorite song on the album. Yeah, I just like this album a lot. There's no denying that, and I have nothing bad to say. Production's great, the performance-wise is great, melodies are great, everything is great about this album. That's why this album is a 10 out of 10. That's all I can say. Let me know what bands I should rank next. I'm probably going to do Slipknot next. Who knows? But yeah, what are your thoughts on this video? Make sure to like and subscribe. What are your thoughts on this video? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What are your thoughts in the comments below? I like to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. And yeah, take care. Cheers.